"Well, dears, it's finally finished," Mrs. Darley announced as she appeared from the kitchen with a tray of glasses and Pimm's, closely followed by Phyllis, who was carrying some rather delicious scones and clotted cream. "What is?" Rose asked. "The labyrinth," Mrs. Darley replied. "Oh, yes," said Rose. "I remember now. Isn't it a friend of yours, Phyllis, who's been making it for what seems like forever?" Phyllis nodded as she put the scones down on the table. "Yes, after nearly 2 summers in the making, Michael says it's finally ready for guests." "Then we must all go," said Mrs. Darley. "Well, I'm free any time," said Rose. "How about Tuesday?" "We must do it when everyone can come," said Mrs. Darley, looking at me. "Don't forget, some of us are at work." "Oh, don't mind me," I said quickly, secretly wondering why the sudden appearance of a labyrinth had caused so much excitement. After all, it was only a maze, just kid stuff, really. "Oh, no, dear," said Mrs. Darley. "You must come. It's something I want you to see, and besides," she added, "I think it will do you good." Wondering how on earth a labyrinth would do me good was quite beyond my comprehension, however. With this comment, the conversation ended and a date was set for the following Saturday. Saturday morning dawned bright and clear, and rather reluctantly I dutifully called for Mrs. Darley and Rose, and we set off for the pretty market town of Tavistock, just over the Devon border. From here we left civilization behind and began to climb eastward out of the town and up onto the wild and barren land of Dartmoor. "I'm glad it's a nice day," said Rose as we wove our way across a ribbon of road bordered by the vast expanse of the moor. "Dartmoor always gives me the creeps. It's not friendly like our Bodmin Moor." "All moors can be bleak at times, my dear," said Mrs. Darley, "just like life. But when the sun comes out like today, there is nothing more breathtaking than to find yourself in a magnificent wild landscape, which serves to remind all of us of our timeless connection to the earth." Her words made me smile, and for the first time since this rather unusual outing had been arranged, I actually began to look forward to the day ahead. A further 10 minutes into our journey, Mrs. Darley indicated that I turn down a well-rutted track, where we plunged deep into a wooded valley that followed the twists and turns of a moorland stream. "Here we are, dear. You can park anywhere in this yard," Mrs. Darley said as I pulled alongside a dozen or so other cars. "I thought this was just a maze in someone's garden," I said to Mrs. Darley as we began to walk towards a crowd of people who were congregating on the other side of a 5-barred gate. "Well, it is on private property," said Mrs. Darley, "but I think they've got quite a few acres, so I expect it will be quite large. Oh, and it's a labyrinth, dear, not a maze." "Ah," I said. "I didn't realise there was a difference." "Well, that's understandable," Mrs. Darley replied. "I don't suppose many people do realise there's a difference, and these days the terms have become almost synonymous with each other. For the record, though, a maze is full of dead ends, although you can reach the centre through much trial and error. A labyrinth, on the other hand, only has one pathway to its centre." As I was taking on board this new piece of information, I was delighted to see Phyllis hurrying forward and beckoning us through the gate. After the usual affectionate greetings, we joined what looked like 20 or so other people and followed them around the end of an old barn. As we turned the corner, we were overshadowed by the most imposing tor, and at its foot, carved into the grassland of the moor, was the most enormous labyrinth. "Wow," I murmured. "Isn't it stunning?" Rose whispered. "Now I can see why it took 2 summers to carve out."
to keep listening to this audiobook. I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.